Hi, I'm Jocks, and welcome to Layman's Guide to Cracking the Coding Interview. And this is our problem for today, and it's quite simple as well. So given a binary tree, the function should return the max consecutive count of 1. For example, we have a binary of 3, it should return 2 because the binary for 3 would be 2's of 1's, right? So it should return 2. So if it's 7, then it should return 3 because the binary for 7 would be 1, 2, 3. So there's a 3 consecutive ones. So we take another example. So binary for this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should return 4 because the other longest is just 3. So the max is the 4. So it should return 4. So let's get deep into this thing. Let's say like we have a consecutive male and we have a female as well. So we need to find the max consecutive male sitting together. To solve this problem, let's give an index from 0 to 1 in an order, and we begin with the pointer I. So at first we have a pointer I and we have a temporary cache, and we declare the previous and the max as a 0 at the beginning, and we have a empty cache at the beginning. So when you reach to the 1, we don't have anything in the previous, so then we put things into the previous as well as we put items into the cache, because whenever we see the mail, we put it into the cache and then we iterate. So we jump I from index 0 to 1. So we reach here, is it mail again? Yes, it is. So we put it into the cache again. Then we jump to the index 2. So then we see the we increment the value in the temporary cache, and then we iterate again. So now we see the female. When you see the female, then we get the max count of the temporary cache along with the max. At first we define the max as a 0, so the length of the temporary cache right now is 3. So we have a 3 and 0, so the max would be the 3, and after that we clear the cache and then we put the prev as a female. So we iterate again, so it's still a female, we do nothing. So now at 5 we see the male. So when you see the male, we need to put it into temporary cache, we need to change the prev. So that's what we did. So when we here, we put this value over here in the temporary cache. So we move to the 6th index and we add the value here. We have a previous as a male, that's still okay. So now we're gonna be ending the male row, then we're gonna be jumping to the 7th. So what we do here, as we did right on the index 3. So we check the max, we have a 3 at the beginning. Now we compare the length of the temporary cache, we just have a 2, so the max would still be 2, not gonna be 2, sorry, it's gonna be 3, not gonna be 2. So we clear the cache and then we have a prev as the female. So once you hit the end, then we just return the max of the max value or the length of the temporary cache. This is really important because what if we had a male here? In that case, we just return the previous one. So this would be really important. I'll show you later why. So let's get into the program. So we have this value as a given input. So we have 2 zeros at first, 2 1s at first, and the 2 zeros at and then the 3 1s. So in this case, like this would be the max value and the program should return 3. So at first, as we talked earlier, we have the we define the function and then we pass the parameter as a bin value. So that's a binary value, and we have a max as a 0 at the beginning. Then we have a temporary cache, it's empty, and a prev as empty. That's what we did earlier. So now we need to iterate from index 0 to index n. So first we need to check whether the current index is 1 and if the current index is equal to previous. So in this case, it's not going to be true, so we're not going to execute this if statement. So else, if the binary value or the current value is 1, we clear the cache and then we put the value into the cache. But in this case, it's still not true. So this is the current condition. We have a previous val as a current val. We're going to put this. So in our previous val, we're going to put 0. And then we still need to check whether we have a max as the real max. So we are comparing the real max with the temporary case. In this case, it's 0, 0. So our max ones would still be 0. So now it iterates all the way up to n. So once we hit to the n, then it's gonna return 3. And make sure this is important here, because what if we had one more here in the, sorry, even with this, if we didn't have this, we'll have an error. It would return 2. So that's what this one is really important. Many people seems to miss this small thing. So but this is really important, however. So let's execute this program. So okay, we have this input, the same input, a slightly different. I've added a 1 1 over here so that we wanted to see which one would be the max. So let me run. So we have a 4 because we have a 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. All right, so we have it here. So what if I added 5 over here? So should it return 5? Yes, it does. And now let's talk about the runtime. Simply, we don't really need to think about the runtime in this case, because it's simply iterating from index 0 to index n. So it's simply on. That's it. If you can solve better than the log, on, if you could do it in the log of n, then that would be better. You can post a comment below. Thanks.